Rocket One salute.
Onka with the resub. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. 37 months. J-Speed. Holy shit, you still exist.
That's unfortunate.
What's up, J-Speed? And of course...
Yippee-ki-yo!
Only half paying attention? Roger, roger.
BFFFTK man, I be busy sometimes.
And yeah, that's no fucking excuse.
J-Speed, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it, buddy. 109 months. Good lord. All right, so what's going on, everybody? How we doing? All right, so just FYI, I had to turn off and enhance broadcasting on Twitch, so there's only going to be one resolution available unless we win the Twitch encoding lottery, and they do it on their end. But it is too much to handle for my PC to do all the different resolution options, encode, you know, locally while I'm gaming, you know, for the stream, and also broadcasting to YouTube at the same time. It's too much to handle since I don't have a stream PC anymore. And I have food. I have a sausage and onion quesadilla because I'm starving and I haven't had a chance to eat yet today. So I like that. Top beer goggle resolution. You almost made me spit out my food, J-Speed. Oh, there's so many things I could do with that. Top beer goggle resolution. I love it. All right. See, J-Speed, I miss your humor. You went and got busy at work. Trollsama went and got a job. Without you guys, I have to entertain myself. All right, so today is episode 3, and there's also a Starship launch, most likely today. In fact, it kicks off here in an hour and 39 minutes. Oh no, that's not it. That's not the Starship launch. That's a different SpaceX launch. All right, Starship is launching in just under 4 hours. Yeah, Trollsama, unfortunately, because of the job he's doing now, he's driving a city bus. He's muzzled. And I just have to visually picture Trollsama driving around a city bus with wearing a dog muzzle. To keep from saying snarky things to people getting on and off the bus. J-Speed, anything new about the Dragonfly mission or Dragonfly Titan mission? Yeah, but I think he drives like 12 hours a day. Yeah, I saw a test that they did not too long ago. In a wind tunnel test. For the next helicopter that they're drone copter they want to send to Mars. And it was a supersonic rotor test. Right, where the rotor the rotor is spinning greater than the speed of the velocity of the blades on the rotor were spinning greater than the speed of sound on Mars. Right, they're trying to come up with a design that would allow it to spin above the speed of sound and still produce lift. That's one of the problems with helicopters on Earth, even, is when the blades approach the speed of sound, the lift, right, the moment of pressure moves from the shock wave. And most of the time it moves up behind the rotor blade, which means the rotor is no longer producing lift. J-Speed, yes, there was. The Thunder Screech or something like that, I think. Yeah, the Thunder Screech. Is there a video of it?
Ordered with the aim of with no real hitches. However, the plane failed to live up to expectations and did not actually pass Mach 1. It managed to reach 670 miles per hour, which made it the world's fastest propeller-driven aircraft, but was useless for the Navy's purposes. For the assessment of this technology,
something for the sound.
Went supersonic. This meant that the plane emitted around 900 sonic booms per minute, and these combined to make an astonishing row. The noise was such that ground crew involved in the test series suffered malaise and nausea if they were anywhere near the aircraft during taxiing, run-up, or takeoff. This was true even if they wore earplugs. The effect on a carrier's deck of a squadron of such aircraft preparing for takeoff would undoubtedly have been bad for operational efficiency.
You think?
The plane and supersonic propellers were quite sensibly abandoned.
Yeah, the Thunder Screech. 900 sonic booms per minute. Made everybody around it sick. J-Speed, they thought about that. They actually did. Problem was getting the plane anywhere. Right? Because it makes everybody sick. So even if you're going to launch it from a carrier deck to go do that, I mean, you wouldn't be, you know, it's like... How do you get, you'd have to like disassemble it, transport it on another aircraft, put it together, Noise canceling AirPods? Yeah. By the way, anybody that's in Canada around those fires? Those fires are unreal, dude. It looks like the apocalypse. Or anybody around the Great Lakes. All right, I should probably get this launched because it takes so long. Oh yeah, and Kaio, just so you, water fail. Ha ha! Come on. Shit. I missed. Try that again. All right. Yeah, as you can see, I have Waterfall, the Restock Waterfall expansion, Waterfall Restock, and Waterfall Core all installed just fine. So it's weird that it's not letting you do that. But as I said, after today's stream, because it takes about... I have to compress it and then upload it to Google Docs, and that takes about 45 minutes to an hour and a half. All right, well, let's get this going. All right, so today we are doing episode 3 of our new 1/4 real scale career, and it looks glorious, which you'll see once Kerbal starts to load with our screenshots. Jace made brunch, actually, for me, but sausage and onion quesadillas. And it's very tasty. You want some? Gaio, if you want the craft file for that or any others, let me know. Because a lot of times when I'm building planes, I've done so many that I forget to vocalize some of the little things that I'm doing when I'm making them. Right, like angle of incidence on the wings. That type of thing. That works. And at some point, I really need to do a multi-part airplane tutorial. Because for the most part, planes are more complicated than rockets in terms of nuance. And as I said, I always attribute the globalization of All you need to do to make an airplane is make sure that the center of lift is behind the center of mass, and you're all good. That's like telling somebody that's never driven a car before, or even ridden in one, that all you need to do is sit in the driver's seat to drive the car. Right? There's a whole lot more involved than just sitting in a driver's seat. Right? Closing the driver's door, putting on the seatbelt, adjusting your mirrors, starting the engine. Understanding and knowing all the traffic laws, you know, right? Before you know. You know, it's a lot more involved than just sit down in the driver's seat to drive a car. Societies, what's up, my friend? Maybe in 50 years when self-driving finally happens. Yeah, just out of curiosity, how is it going to be possible to do drive-by shootings with a self-driving car? Well, on one side, it frees up both your hands. Couldn't help myself. All right, so you guys looking forward to flight, what is it, 13th launch of Starship, if it goes off today? I think it's the 13th launch. Anyone that's superstitious. Yeah, JSP, dude, there's so many points of failure. Oh, points of potential failure on the Starship. Kaio, it is, let me refresh the page. 3 hours and 36 minutes away. Yeah, also, if anybody if are able, if you wouldn't mind also watching the stream on YouTube, just mute one of them, either Twitch or YouTube. More viewers begets more viewers. Yeah, J-Speed, yeah, dude, it is so complex. It's going to be quite a while before it's going to be human rated. It's not only the largest rocket ever launched successfully, I should say, successfully launched. It's also by far the most complex. J-Speed! Thank you, sir. J-Speed, do you have any interest in being modded over there on YouTube as well, or do you want to take a break from that? Oh. And since you're here, I need to Kerbalize you. Yeah, Mr. J-Speed, how are you? Thank you. Yeah, J-Speed, I'll have to mod you after the stream. It's a pain in the ass in YouTube to add somebody as a moderator. It's not as simple as just /mod Mr. J-Speed. I have to post your page URL, like your Google account URL. All right, so we're gonna open the cheat menu, go to Kerbals, create. And Mr. J-Speed, what do you want to be today? Everybody else, just so you're aware, I always do this with the moderators. Another engineer. All right. The Kerbal has been created. Alright, so we need to perform more experiments around the KSC. We can do that real quick. Suborbital return. And then we have these atmospheric surveys. Problem is, these atmospheric surveys are 2,200 kilometers away. And I'm not sure we actually have a... Let's look. Let's see if there's any airbase nearby it. We have Engineers Luck Airfield and Raisins Whim Airstrip. And Dinkelstan's Spirit Airstrip. Yeah, they're a ways away. Oh, that's recovery only. That's also recovery only. Crap. These are all recovery only. Where are the actual closed? Where are the other ones? How come it's only giving me the closed strips? I mean the recovery strips. It's not giving me the other ones that I can open up. Okay, we have Sandy Island. Okay, so I can open Sandy Island, but that's not that much closer. You can open up South Lake, but it's also not that much closer. Well, I guess that's going to be the closest. But that's 900 grand to open that one. Plus, we'll have to adjust some things because of the scale change. We don't have 900 grand to open that. Now those are all just recovery bases. All right. So we'll have to thunk on that one. I like thunking on things, if you haven't noticed. All right, but we can knock out this KSC experiments. Yeah, 900 grand to open up that over there. Oof. Oof. How old did it save? Today is episode 3. I guess you're hard of reading. Instead of hard of hearing, you're hard of reading. Oh, I can be such an ass sometimes. Mr. Pinky Speed? Well,
To be honest, I figured as much.
all right, so we need biological experiments. JSP. Hey, speaking of, we need some biological experiments. So, JSpeed, if you wouldn't mind bringing your pinky ass over here and loading it onto my truck. Was it this one that has the biological experiments? I think so. No, I'm not getting any mystery goo from you.
Yuck!
All right, Geiger. Oh, JSpeed, thank you so much for that image. All right, Geiger counter. I gotta figure out which one of these has a Geiger counter now. All right, that's albedo, magnetometer. All right, signals intelligence, X-rays. All right, that's just a relay set. All right, so this one has a Geiger counter on board. 27 grand? Jeez. All right, temperature scan we already have on board. Atmospheric pressure scan we already have on board. All right. Let's start automating some of this. Alright, and I'll need a scientist on board to reset this. Bob. Alright, KSC rover spawn. So, from my understanding, Starship will actually be launching the new Starlink satellites today, as well. Alright, so where do we need to do this? We need to go to the VAB, R&D, mission control, and the tracking station. Dude, how awesome does this look? I mean, seriously, it's still hard to believe sometimes that this is KSP-1. MGB! Seriously though, MGB?
Your Winnie the Pooh impression? Yeah, not impressive.
What's up, MGB? How we doing, buddy? Yeah, the visuals are just ridiculous. All right, so we are at mission control. We need a temperature scale. Actually, we're gonna get the full Monty. We're gonna go ahead and just grab the full Monty. So blink. Oh, I didn't realize there's one on either side. It's not supposed to be there. Oh, and I forgot to add that. Alright, let's put him back inside because I forgot to... Go ahead and take photographs. I forgot to add that to the list. Alright, so now you can EVA. Alright, take data. Give us an EVA report. Good to go. Take that data. Take that data. Alright, collect the photographs. Take that data. Take that data. Uh-oh. Alright. Don't touch the wheel. Can you do this without grabbing the wheel? Nope. I need to put deployable ladders just to cover the wheels. Alright, Alright, so we got all that. So now we need to hit the VAB. And repeat. Yep, wheels are always the apex of danger. That is for certain. Alright, don't need that one this time. NGB, I do too, man, because there are some things that are starting to look really good with it. But they still have a long, long way to go. And I saw they called it across the 200,000 threshold of funding. But let's face it, that doesn't even cover 2 developers for a year. Alright. We can let him take the data. Get an EV report. Oh, I forgot we can get surface samples now, too. Don't touch the wheels. You mean I can't get that close? Alright, there we go. Take the data. Fall on your face. Alright, store all that. Yep, don't do that, please. NGB, yeah. But that also includes the core team that is making the brutal framework game engine that they're doing, right? Which is also going to be used for other projects. Right, so that'll get leveraged across other projects. They don't want a publisher. I'm pretty sure they don't want a publisher. Yeah, and they've had a few big benefactors. I think I know at least one person donated 10 grand in one go, and I think somebody else donated 20. I gotta look at the leaderboard again, but even so, those are like one-time giant gifts. But they're gonna need that all, continuously. J-Speed, there's not enough there to charge for the game. That's the problem. Not yet. Alright, so now we need to go over to the tracking station and then R&D. Alright, no photos to be had from there. Alright, EVA. Take data, store data. Give me an EVA report, please. Give me a surface sample. Thank you, Bob. Alright, take that data. Take that data. And let's go ahead and climb out here. Yep, go ahead and ragdoll around. So you can take that data and that one. Come on, you can do it. don't get stuck. Come on. There we go. Thank you. I have to jump just right to clear that wheel. Alright, so now we're gonna do this again at R&D. Somebody remind me to add ladders to this so we can get in and out without all the fuss. Actually, I think R&D is over here. Yep. All right, and that should do it. Let's go ahead and recover that. Yeah, MGB, that's what it is. That's what they're using so far. You know, like Icarus, I think, is their best-selling game at the moment. But Jason, I'm sure at some point they'll pivot. Once it's an actual game, they'll do that. All right, 67.3 science. All right, research 3 ribbon for Bob. We actually have more science than I want to spend at the moment, which is a good thing. It's unusual because I usually have the science so far reduced. All right, but that is... Oh, wait, did we miss something? Biological experiments at the VAB. I could have swore we did that. How did we miss biological experiments at the VAB? Gotta scrape the VAB toilets? You mean the one that's always broken and overflowing? Yep, this is silly, but... it's what must be done to keep the Kerbal off the wheels. And let's double check to make sure that this is... Oh, you know what it is? This is a single use unless we... Wait, we just kept taking data from it. Is it not what it's looking for as geodetic data? Is that not the right one? It has to be one that we've already unlocked because we've done it before. Could have swore it was that one. Nope, it's the biosat adapt this thing. That's why. It's this guy. Yeah, perform biological experiments. There we go. So we didn't have the right experiment on board. But at least this time it doesn't matter who drives it because we're just going to go to the VAB. And grab this real quick. Mystery goo. While I'm thinking about it. Because we can now do the goo. J-Speed, stay out of the mystery goo. Yeah, see where respawn. There we go. J-Speed, we don't have it yet. Obama NV, what's going on, my friend? How you doing today? MGB, you working from home today? And we will be using this truck for other things later on. Alright, I'm just going to keep everything whether we need it or not. Alright, and recover. At work, you gotta get back to the salt mines. Take a bigger pickaxe with you this time. You get to work from home tomorrow? Alright, nice. Alright, 7.6 science earned. As I said, our science is actually outpacing our ability to use it. Which is not something I'm used to having. Alright, that completes the contract. Okay. So now we need to do a suborbital return, which means we're going to start developing our Mercury Redstone, but we're going to be launching it uncrewed first. LMGB, learn how to play the stock market. You could probably make what you make in a day in an hour or two a day. Speaking of which, I'll be getting back to that here before too long, hopefully. Okay, I need... What do I need? Oh, I need to bring up the Blue Dog wiki. Sorry, we cannot find the page you're looking for. Come on. Thank you. You're trying to diversify your portfolio? Start investing into stocks that pay out high dividends. Would be my recommendation. That way you can still stick with an income stream. Okay, so we need... Yep, okay, there we go. That is not how it actually goes. Alright, so we're gonna have to ad-lib here a little bit. Why is that decoupler being weird? Maybe that's one. Oh, long-term capital gains.
Get ready to pay some taxes.
Okay, yep, that's why. Alright. We may have to mess around with the pressure of when these are actually going to open. All depends if the executive suite decides to replace you with AI. Yeah, that is going to be pleasant for a whole crap ton of people. Oh, ha! It's already bound the brakes. It's supposed to help use aerodynamics to reorient the vehicle to re-entry. Oh, this has goo on it. Goo. Yeah, wait till quantum computing comes online. That's when AI is really gonna take off. Okay, I finally saw how this actually goes together. So this is how this actually goes together. Even though it's really hard to read. I flipped this to light, but it's still not. Oh well. It's black on dark gray, very hard to read. All right. I'm gonna have to adjust some things here. All right, those can be together. I don't know if I actually want to jettison the heat shield. I don't. All right. All right, so that'll be the jettison tower. Okay, that's weird that it goes up so high like that, but okay. All right, there's the redstone guidance unit. All right, so now we can pull out this one, merge them together. Niantic, how we doing today, man? JSpeed, yeah, in an instant. Literally, it'll be able to crack everything in an instant. Mercury Posigrade kick motor. This tiny solid rocket motor was originally used to push a Mercury away from its Atlas booster. We're sure you'll think of even more uses for it. All right, so we're not doing Mercury Atlas yet. We're doing Mercury Redstone, which is suborbital. All right, set that to the correct height. Let's go over here to the modular launch pads. I think they used a cherry picker for Mercury Redstone to load the astronaut. Where's Alpha Mense? What the hell is this? I don't remember this being a thing. Anybody else ever seen the pedal cover? Was it something only partially used? I guess we're gonna have to Google Mercury Redstone here. Some things they didn't use, some things they did. Right, they designed a whole bunch of stuff because they weren't sure and ended up not using them. Yeah, they used literally a cherry picker to load the crew, or the astronaut. Dude, and Mercury is so tiny, dude. The Mercury capsule is itty bitty. Oh, that's the Jupiter pedal cover. Okay, well. Speak of the devil and he shall appear. Thank you, Alpha. Yeah, I was just double checking because I thought that they just had a little cherry picker crane to load the crew on board. So, Alpha, where is the cherry picker crane? Wait, are you serious? I was joking. Wait, you actually made it? Okay, what do I need to look for then? Yeah, so you actually have one. Does it work? And what did you call it in here? Oh, you're talking about the pedal cover. Okay. I was talking about the cherry picker. Right, this thing. Right. I was talking about like this thing. Oh, the cherry pickers for emergency exit use? Okay, there was a proper crew elevator tower located opposite of that gantry. Okay. Okay, I see it. Yeah, it's a small, shitty image, though. This one's better. So this thing. I'm guessing this is what you're referring to, is this crane contraption back here? Or is it on the other side? Oh, that's an even better picture of that. I'm guessing this is just the service tower. Right? This is just the service tower? Not the actual crew elevator? Or is it all of it, all the above? Well, that's really complicated. Alright, well, we gotta do some testing first anyway, so... Alright, let's make sure we do not have a Kerbal on board, as we are going to do an abort test. You know me and my abort tests. Is Shepard the one that peed himself? Because they couldn't figure out whether or not it would damage the rocket or not, and he just said, can't hold it anymore, letting her loose after sitting there for 8 hours. Okay. Welcome to our abort test. Range is hot. Stand by for abort test number 1 in 3, 2, 1. Abort, abort, abort. Oh yeah, we don't have a Kerbal on board to be able to Oh, it does it all automatically. Oh, that is spiffy.
That is spiffy.
Oh,
Yeah, baby.
that's spiffy. I like it. Oh, I can't. Oh, yeah, there it is. I was like, where's my recover vessel button? You know me, I gotta have my abort testing. All right, let's time warp a couple days to clean it up. Hi, dog. Come here, dog. I got somebody who wants to come say hi. Come here, mamas. Delta. Come here, I got something for you. Come on. But you gotta come, you gotta come up. You gotta come all the way up. Oh, yeah. Oh, you are such a dark dog. And you're just making such a mess. You just gonna leave all that down there, huh? Gonna leave all that down there? You just gonna leave all that down there? There's onions in that, monkey. You can't have that one. You wanna come here? Come here. Come on. I want the... Hey, I want the full hug. Come on. I want the full hug. Come on, give it to me. Give it to me. Come on. Give me the full hug all the way up. All the way up. There we go. Oh. Yep. What's up, man? Yeah, you can't... onions are... can be deadly for dogs. Never give onion to dogs. From my understanding, it does something. It breaks down the cell walls of their red blood cells. So yeah, no onions for dogs. No onions, no grapes. Which also means no raisins. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff you're not supposed to feed dogs. Caffeine. Because they can't process it. Just like a little kid, they can't process caffeine yet. Which is why kids aren't supposed to have caffeine. Alright guys, give me just a minute. She needs something and I gotta punch the bladder reset button. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Did you miss me? Oh, Imp, how we doing today, buddy? And why does YouTube Studio seem to always be frozen anytime I look at it? All right, back to it. Tequila! What's up, my friend? Alright, so that actually worked out quite well, so let's go ahead and launch it without a Kerbal. No Kerbal on board. Picked up your first car with your mom today. Nice. How soon before you get your first speeding ticket? Imp, that's probably part of it. Twitch is a better platform for live streaming than Google. I mean, than Google. That may as well be. Than YouTube. A Nissan Micra, you don't think you can get a speeding ticket? You just gotta find a steep enough hill, my dude. Yes, sir. Do you know how slow you were driving? All right. By the way, somebody's keeping track of when Starship is launching, right? 2.5 hours. Just under 2.5 hours. Okay. Guidance is go, Mercury is go, Redstone is go, range is hot. We need a go, no go from chat. Chat is go. We have a green board. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Made it to start. 2, 1. Send it. We are wobbly. We are very wobbly. We need some auto strut. All right, vehicle supersonic. We need some auto strut. We're gonna have to spend some of that science. we know what altitude this was jettisoned from? Oh, it's not gonna be suborbital. We didn't quite make it. I needed to launch steeper. Tequila? Yeah. Seriously. Yeah, without a Kerbin on board, we have no control at this point. In fact, I don't think we need the retro motors though. Do we? I don't think this had the retro motors when it was launching on Redstone. Yeah, I don't think it had the retro motors when it launched on Redstone. The retro motors are for deorbiting. It never goes remotely fast enough to get to orbit. So we can lose that. That'll give us a little bit more delta V. Oh yeah, we're still in fizz warp. Not like it matters. Our parachutes aren't active, so this is a loss. To be expected. Yeah, there's a guidance units on this, which is why it shifted back to it. This is gonna do some interesting things. You tagged me in Discord. Am I it? And that's why I did have the retros on it? Okay. Okay, that thing. This thing is barely bigger than a... The Redstone was barely bigger than a... I mean, Mercury is barely bigger than a person. Gulp, 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 gulp. Alright, back to the Space Center. Hippie in just under 2.5 hours. A little over 2 hours. What's going on, Hippie? How we doing, buddy? You'll be in bed by then? Yeah, there's always the replay, right? World first milestone. We have splashed down in the ocean. All right. Where's all our Canadian brethren today? I'm going to hear more about these fires. Alright, so this thing has to be launched at a steeper profile. Busy week. Tomorrow's the last day before vacation. Very nice. And you got a promotion 2 days ago? Oh, even better. And it's nice to get promoted right before vacation. And gray hair! Gifting us up the Posh. Yeah, I'm just gonna call you Pop because I butchered the hell out of that one. Gray hair, thank you so much, man. How are we doing today? Sideys, it looks bad. I know it does. It looks really bad. Hippie. Wait, your colleague got fired and you got promoted into her position? Did they do something wrong or? No. I can open a can of worms. Congratulations. Tequila, two weeks vacation. Wait, Tequila, isn't your girlfriend coming in too? Right here, you're right near the fires? Oh, that's why you took a second week to recover from the first week, because you're hoping that she's going to be spending all week going
Tequila!
Yeah, Hippie, I was in that position before. I was already the assistant manager and they hired a new manager and she didn't know what the hell she was doing. Right? She must have lied on her resume or in the interview or both or something, because she didn't know what she was doing and it was making my life absolute misery, because I had to keep cleaning up her messes for stuff that she was doing because she didn't have any experience to be a finance manager. And it was driving me nuts. So I requested a transfer out of the department. And then, and the weird thing was that she was never really my boss, only kind of partially. Because I already had a boss, we basically had the same boss. And he asked me why I wanted to transfer out. And I'm like, because I'm tired of cleaning up the mess. So I got transferred to a different department. 3 months later, she quit on her own because she was going to get fired. And then 3 months later, she quit on her own, and then I ended up getting her job. You just don't want to be a dad in 9 months? Well, overlap the prophylactics. Okay, so we might actually have to put a Kerbal on board. In order to fully go through this. You say too much in here?
Don't we all?
are you doing StarTech in my area? All right, well, before we do that, before we launch a Kerbal, because we do want to be able to do full manual recovery, we probably won't be able to recover the capsule yet. Oh, that's right, we gotta go spin stuff in the tech tree first. We need auto struts. And to do that, we need struts. I think this is it right here. Heavy duty strut connector. Oh, there it is. Strut connector. All right, so we have strut connectors and heavy duty strut connectors. All right, so let's go ahead and research this. But I'm not going to unlock all this. It's too much. But we need that. And what the hell is a heavy duty strut? Yeah, we'll unlock it anyway. You got called into NorCal? Oh, I'm a long way from there. Napsmore, you're up there in NorCal, though. Yeah, NorCal, depending, I mean, a gray hair, depending on where you're at in NorCal, dude, you could be 1,000 miles, 1,200 miles away. Yeah, so Nassau is just north of Reading, so I guess it depends on where you're at. MGB is in the Bay Area, which is, I guess, technically... I guess it's still the northern part of Central California. Oh, California's a really tall-ass state. Hey, Gloff! What's up, man? You snuck in on us. Hippie? Yes, indeed it is. Sometimes you're, well, depending on where you're at, you may not be able to do a text to, or a voice to text. Just looking to see vaguely what parts we have, other parts we have in there. Oh, and custom fuel tanks, may as well grab that. And those I'll go ahead and research. All right. Gray hair? Yes, they are. Hinkloff? Yeah. As I said, California is a tall state. I think when I drove once from San Diego to San Francisco, it's like an 8-hour, 9-hour drive. Hinglop, yeah, it is. It's only 800 miles from Mexico to Oregon? Really? Feels further than that. Yeah, Hinklop, yeah, that's just California. Dude, you gotta try driving across the country. I've driven from North Carolina to LA. It's over 2,800 miles. All right, so we need some type of recovery system. Which means seaplane. Let's go back and look at the tech tree again. Hey, you look up, see? Plane. Oh, I have to unlock flight control first. All right, let's unlock that. Even though I'm not gonna unlock anything in there just yet. You went from Vancouver to Truro, word. How far is that? Oh, we can. All right, so I'd have to unlock subsonic flight and aerodynamics, or maybe just aerodynamics. Problem is, the landing gear we would need are all the way up here. You know, all the aircraft, mid-sized, you know, the 2.5 meter aircraft parts are all unlocked here in this tier, but the landing gear for them are unlocked way up here in this tier.
Make that make sense.
And then we also don't have any of the robotic parts. which are over here, which we would need. So all we can do is crew recovery. The capsule will have to stay. Do we have the parts for a helicopter? Yep, we do. $3,600 miles? Wow, that's a long trip. How long did that take you? Hinkloff, suborbital space flight in return, uncrewed. I guess we could still we need auto stress first. Oh, that okay, yeah. Thank you for reminding me because we're basically skipping a step. And you're reminding me it has to be uncrewed. Because I was thinking about I was gonna make something to recover a crew, but we don't need to launch it crewed yet. We need to launch it uncrewed. Ranker, what's up, man? No one can say rough 2 times fast. That's an old one, buddy. You gotta do better. You gotta do better. All right, so we're gonna launch this uncrewed, and we did auto strut some of this, right? Yep. All right, so it should be a little bit stiffer. We gave it a little blue pill. Last launch did not go suborbital, as I kind of need to figure out how steep to keep it. Yeah, dude. When I drove from the 2,800 miles from North Carolina back to California, I did it in 2.5 days. I tried to do it in 2, but I had to stop and sleep at the Arizona-California border. I don't know why I was in such a hurry, but I would just gotten out of the army and I was like, "Get me the out of here." All right, suborbital flight. Guidance is go, Mercury is go, Redstone is go. We need a go, no go from chat. And chat is go. We have a green board in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Meaning to start. 2, 1. Send it. And we have liftoff. Alright, we gotta keep the trajectory steeper this time. Alright, vehicle supersonic. All right, 1 minute, 20 seconds into the flight. We're now 21 kilometers downrange distance from the KSC, passing altitude of 22 kilometers. All right, so that's the ticket. Can't go past 70 degrees. Well, actually, we're going much higher than we did last time. Well, some of it's going to come off because we're still in the atmosphere. All right, we can get rid of that. All right, we made space. We have no control over this anymore. There's no Kerbin on board. The guidance unit is right there. All right, we'll give it a little bit of warp. All right, back in Atmo. Do we have to recover? Oh, yeah, we have to return safely. Well, that's not happening. This won't be returning safely. Actually, all I gotta do is reset the staging and we can do it. All right, with that launched, lets us know what trajectory we need to take. All right, back to the Space Center. It actually might have given us the contract. Hippie, it's about 84 kilometers. Imagine being a fish and swimming in exactly that spot. Hinkloff, remember that when Starship splashes in the Indian Ocean here in a little bit. Congratulations, you successfully returned your craft from space. Well, technically, yes, but we'll take it. All right, couple days for cleanup. Reach orbit and return uncrewed. Okay. We can do that. We'll take that contract. Yeah, we'll have to launch a Cerveza or Keyhole. KH Keyhole. Recon satellite in space run confirm. Kerbin and perform a photo recon of the specified area, and then this will have to we'll have to recover the film canister. But it'll be in orbit and then return. At least part of it will. So we'll take that contract. Don't want to do that one just yet. Launch our first geostationary satellite. I'm not ready for that yet either. A sun synchronous orbit. Not yet, because I think that's what this is, right? The Cabroller study. Except no, this one's much. Okay, that one's gonna be really difficult at this early stage. Achieve a low eccentricity circular orbit. Not yet with the launch vehicles we have. Our upper stages are SRBs, so we have fine control is not a thing. Orbit a probe and return it safely home. That's all part of the other same thing, so we'll take it as well. I'd like to do that survey contract because we're going to get more survey contracts if we complete that one, but that one is so far away. Yeah, these are all very specific orbits. That's problematic this early. All right, so we're gonna build a spy satellite. Let's build a spy satellite. And yeah, it did return, that's for sure. I'm looking at the Blue Dog wiki. All right, so this is gonna launch on an Agena. Well, the upper stage is just part of the satellite. We have it unlocked, though, is the question. Actually, they can be together. All right. Wait, is there a decoupler in there? All right, so essentially this is a film cartridge that gets ejected. A physical film cartridge that got ejected from the first spy satellite with its own little re-entry. And then they'd have to catch it in the air. Because the film was designed in such a way that if it got wet, it would dissolve instantly. Right, to prevent Soviet capture. And there's a little retro motor to deorbit it. Yep, there's the actual camera. Yeah, gotta take pictures of North Kerbin. I think it's the small one, right? Yeah. Those are those. All right, what configuration are these in? Can't be in a 3x. All right, so those are the retro motors. Hinkle, that is true. I mean, some of the stuff they did was just bonkers. Like, wow, really? You did it like that? Like capturing these out of the air. I mean, they literally did it like this. An old cargo, when the capsule was parachuting down, right? They'd time it to fly over it with this contraption hanging out the back of a cargo plane that would snag it in the air, and then they would reel it back up, you know, back up inside. Right? They had this crazy contraption that hung off the bottom, or off, out of the thing. Yeah, this. Yeah, they would hang this out the back and literally capture the open parachute. How crazy is that? You know what's crazy? Some of this early stuff, though, is depicted in some of the early James Bond movies. Because they also thought about doing something like this to like rescue spies. Yeah, so like this, you'd be parachuting down and they'd fly over and grab it, and they would pull this contraption back in, and it would pull the whole thing back inside. Because they couldn't transmit, they couldn't transmit that amount of data yet, right? The film was still physical, right? Analog. And think about how much the early launches cost to launch something, right? You can only take so many pictures, and then it was return it back, and the satellite at that point is useless in orbit. And it launched on a Thor. I'm guessing I'm missing something. Yeah, I need a adapter. Regina. Which one is it? Is it supposed to be that way? Yep, alright, but slightly different. That way. There we go. Alright. Alpha? Yeah, he did, dude. Yeah, that's what I mean. He made everything. Oh, wrong one.
Everything.
Nope, not that tank. That one. Right now I need the lower fuel tank. Smooth or ribbed for her pleasure.
Giggity.
Which engine is it? All right, so we need the engine fairing and then the RL-79. All right. So it is that engine. Need those two momentarily. Door engine fairing. There we go. And then all these also have different configurations. All right, and the vernier engines. And then the fins. These the right fins? I think it's those. I think it's those. All right, like that. All right, this is gonna be Corona 1. I think this is set correctly. Maybe. The other part too is some of these are convoluted in the guides, the wiki. Yeah, they have these on display everywhere. Trying to see on the launch. They were so paranoid back then, though, man. Oh, no fins. It had no fins. Interesting. All right, and we still have an hour and 20 minutes before Starship. All right. Let's get this thing on a... Let's build a pad. All right, so Alpha, I'm guessing that you had a... that there's a Thor Delta pad in here. What do we keyhole on now? Pull orbit and return. But we have to take pictures over specific sites for our contract. Yeah, as I said, the early space program was so convoluted because you had the Army Air Force space program, you had the NACA space program, the Navy had their own space program. There was like three or four different space programs happening all simultaneously, all developing their own shit, and nothing was standardized. It was
Gabaji.
all right. So now I just gotta figure out which one is. Atlas Agena Cirrus Tower. It's all Atlas Agena, which we're not doing yet. We're still doing Thor Agena. Or Delta. Okay, that's the one. All right, just making sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, that's for the caster SRB versions, the longer. All right, so we do it like that. Okay, so the fallback tower wasn't used with Thoragina. All right, so which tower? The typical square one. I don't know if you're aware of this, but there's nothing too typical about your mod, just FYI. Unless you mean this one. The Atlas Aegina service tower. Just a basic square. Okay. The general service towers, which I don't have unlocked yet. Apparently. Hey, you also got a little carried away with in the part department, just like Cobalt did. BBL, what does that mean? What is BBL? Oh, yeah, be back later. Okay. He would go to some long talking launch towers and then throws out an acronym, and I'm like, wait, what the hell is BBL with launch towers? Yeah, big booster landing, right? What's up, Function? How you been, man? I can make this taller, can I? Nope, not on this one. Oh, let's try calling this Thor Agena launch. Oh, this thing had quite a few options. All right. I have no idea how many umbilicals this thing actually had. It basically had a different setup for every different launch configuration. I said a lot of the early stuff is all convoluted. Part of it by design to keep the Soviets, you know, the whole Red Scare thing going on, and the competition with the Soviets, and the fact, as I said, there's 3 or 4 different agencies, also all semi-competing with one another. Where's the small? Blankster! What's up, my friend? Alright, save it and send it. Let's hope we have this set up correctly. Only one way to find out. Alright, so this one we gotta go into a polar orbit. And I don't know what altitude we need to be at. For the camera. Go too high, the retro booster won't boost back enough for re-entry. Too low and the camera may not capture what we're supposed to capture. Does it say? Alright, apoapsis has to be below 468 kilometers. And the periapsis has to be below 338 kilometers. Alright, an eccentricity below 0.1 and an inclination between 83.6 degrees and 97.6 degrees. Okay, so that tells us. All right, that we can do. And for this, we'll be launching north. I mean, correction, south. And the reason we launched... whoa, too much. That is really cool, though. All right, but the reason that we launched south is so that we're over water. If we launch north, we'll end up over land, so our first stage will end up coming back to land instead of water. And we want it to come back to the water. All right. Corona 1 is go. Agena is go. Thor is go. We need a go, no go from chat. And chat is go. We are go for launch in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, maiden start. 2, 1, send it. My control, whatever reason, I'm not, no input is happening. If you notice over here, none of my my keyboard suddenly seems to not be working for this. Now it is. All right, we're gonna revert launch there. Or to launch. For whatever reason, my keyboard commands were not inputting. Alpha back home, nice. Radio Free Kerbin, how we doing? Where you can see kittens giving green. You're gonna have to explain that one to me. I don't understand that phrase. Kittens giving green. You mean tossing their cookies? Yeah, look, I have no control input. Yeah, these gimbal, but I'm getting no control input whatsoever. Very strange. All right, let's go back to the assembly building. Ah, okay, science. I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah. Well, they have some type of countdown dynamic for immersion. If you want, we can do it. Which one do I want? Is it?
Or is it this one? Nope.
Yep.
Oh, this would work too. We can go meow, meow, meow,
Meow.
meow,
Meow.
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 There's your countdown. There's your kitten countdown. Oh, I'm such a dick. Yo, Luce, what's up, man? Okay, why is it not letting me control this rocket? Yeah, there's a 4-degree gimbal on these. Just double checking. The verniers also, the verniers have a 40 degree X and Y gimbal and a 15-degree. Ed? I don't know. Why does it have 2 different XY variants? Is there 2 different variants of this? Nope. Just paint jobs. Okay, so why am I not able to give it any control input? Yeah, and we're not gimbal locked. All right, let's try it again. You know, Luce, not too bad. We're launching up our first keyhole spy satellite. If I can figure out why the game is not allowing me to control the first stage of this rocket. All right, and we're also kind of counting down the time to Starship launch. Which is in just under an hour. All right, I'm just gonna run this as a quick test here real fast, so. Yeah, it is not, there's no input going in. Input's locked on this too. For some reason I cannot give it any control input other than staging. Why is that? I hate my life. how did we end up missing that? All right. We forgot the guidance unit. Some way, somehow, we forgot the guidance unit. There's a simplified guidance unit that's on the... Not the camera, but the film return canister. But not enough to control the rocket. I have a feeling that's the reason why. Yep, look at that. Control input. How about that shit? Alright, so let's try this again.
Guidance is a go this time. Aegina is go. Thor is go. Navigation is go. We need a go, no go from chat. So we can launch for reals. Centurion! How are we doing today, buddy? And chat is go. And in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, maiden start, 2, 1, send it!
Mach 1, vehicle supersonic. Passing max Q. Alright, 1 minute, 15 seconds into flight. We're now 16 kilometers downrange distance from the KSC, passing altitude to 16 kilometers. And we have Miko. Alright, we have good upper stage separation and ignition. Gab Borelli? How's it going, man? Uh-oh. We might be in the wrong orbit. Okay, yep. Apple Apps has to be below 468. All right. All right, we're gonna do a very small burn. If I remember correctly, I don't think this actually was able to relight in real life. We're fairly early in career mode still. We have not put a Kerbal into orbit, but we're doing uncrewed stuff first. And this is our Corona 1 spy satellite. Think like the KH1, like the Corona program, the keyhole satellites. This is number 1. All right, so let's go ahead and time warp here as we come up to our apoapsis. We're not yet in a stable orbit, so I'm hoping we're gonna have comms where we need to reburn. As I said, I was trying to angle it so we would just go into, one burn into orbit, but as I don't think this engine was able to relight in real life. A lot of the early rocket engines could not be relit. So basically, this is the Agena 1 upper stage with the keyhole satellite, but it all stays attached. And we just passed over the pole. Look at that. And polar orbits are always the best for screenshots. But man, when you increase the scale and you just see the... so good. That's problematic. We have lost guidance and I need to burn. All right, we're not too far behind. All right, we're in a proper orbit. I do need to flip this thing over, though. Camera needs to actually be facing the ground. All right, go ahead and deploy that. All right, now let's hope we have comms over the area that we need to actually take pictures. Over prop load, weather looking good. Nice. Oh, you're not used to taking screenshots of the clouds and just beg to be taking some photos? Yeah, they do. So I think it depends, because they probably think they have multiple thresholds of what success will be for Starship Flight 13. All right, so we need to take a picture of Kerbin's water, which we're over grasslands right now, deserts, and cold shores. Eventually we'll pass over all of it, but we'll run out of electricity first. Oh, it does have a fuel cell. That's right. It does. It has a fuel cell. I forgot the equipment rack has a fuel cell. I wasn't sure if it was inboard or if it was another part I needed to add. No way to know with Blue Dog sometimes. All right, we'll stop the fuel cell now. Leave that up as well. Now I just gotta wait till we're over the right biomes. Are there markers? They have very specific spots what it's to take photos of. Nope, just in general. Okay, that's better. All right, so once again, we need water, deserts, and cold shores. Spending a lot of time over land. All right, lost the signal. We will have periodic loss of signal. We do not have a comm network up yet. Oh, we just passed over cold shores, but we didn't have signal anyway. You're trying to make a reusable Soyuz? Good luck with that. Let me know how that goes, though. All right, we have signal back, but we are not over the correct biome anymore. Man, how good does that look? Dude, I mean, seriously. I can't believe this is KSP-1. And we're passing over the North Pole. So good. All right, we're over the northern ice shelf. Who are we talking to anyway? All right, ground station back over there. I missed the cold shores. Cold shores is really narrow biome. All right, water. Activate camera. Or mapping for surveillance. Nice. Yeah, so this is what the camera sees, apparently. All right, so we got Kerbin's water. Oh, shit. We're supposed to be doing this with the KH-4. We brought the KH-1. Oh. Why did we get a contract for the KH-4 before we got a contract for the KH-1? Somebody riddle me that, Batman. That's all right. We have other ones to, you know, for recovering something that has been to orbit. But it actually wanted us to use a KH-4 for this and not a KH-1, but we hadn't done anything, so I guess it's out of order. Prop load started on a starship. Thank you. Well, shit. Well, we have a couple of other contracts about orbit and return, so uncrewed. So we're still going to get paid for this. And we'll bring back the right data. We should pass over the right biomes as long as we have control. And we don't miss the cold shores because it's a very narrow biome. Oh, we're over the deserts, so perform mapping surveillance. No more samples can be collected. Oh, we can only take one picture? With the KH-1? Oh, that's a bummer. Alright, where's our trajectory then? All right, well, let's see what this does for orbital reentry then. our staging is messed up. Go figure. Oh, and that's not gonna re-enter us. Yep, and the stage, I had the staging incorrect. Well, shit, we got space junk. Yep, these are two separate, these are already separated. They weren't supposed to separate yet. Okay, well, alright, well, terminate that shit. Let's kaboom it. Kaboom! Yeah, we have no control over these anymore. So they're just debris. Okay. Well,
Shit.
Shit.
Ingy, what's up, man? Ingy, yeah, their stock price hasn't gone all that great. It did exactly what I predicted it was gonna do because of all the opening hype. It would go wink, and then everybody that got in early is gonna want to start unloading, which will make it go back down. All right, so let's go watch. Hold on, let me fix the staging, and then we're gonna go watch the Starship broadcast. Oh yeah, no, it wouldn't be a long-term investment. That's a definite short-term investment. Okay, let's see here. Where did our staging go wrong here? Or are we missing another part? Ah, I see where it went wrong. There we go. Now it's fixed. So we're good to go for next time. But what is the KH4 anyway? Is that one? And I think this one had the multiple adapter, where it had multiple film rolls. I think which is what goes in it. All right, we can save that. All right, but we have a kit. We have a Corona 1, so it'll be easy enough to build a Corona 4. All right, but that is going to do it for Kerbal today. We're now going to switch over and watch the official Starship broadcast. Still no catch-up booster or ship. I like the idea of the commercial stuff, however, because without commercial spaceflight won't become an everyday thing. Right, nor will it open up a lot of new industries, right? Like the internet brought all kinds of new industries, and there's still even new ones being born today, you know, on the internet. So it's kind of one of those things. But that being said, I don't know if we're fully in position yet or there is enough government incentive and public incentive for it. Right, and the way that SpaceX is going about it with Starship is incredibly risky, because it is not just with their lander, just their space, the whole Starship program is incredibly risky with a very high potential for failure, just because of the sheer number of points of potential failure in a vehicle, right? You have 40 engines, a launch vehicle, and if you want to go to the moon, you need 15 refuels in orbit, and refueling at that scale has never been done on orbit, right? Nearly all pump types on Earth are gravity fed. That won't work in space, in a microgravity environment. All right, so we can kill this.
In the hazard area. Now, while that was happening, Starship made its ascent into space. About 40 seconds after stage step, though, we lost one of those 3 Raptor vacuum engines. Still able to demonstrate our engine out capability, reach the planned suborbital trajectory. We've made some hardware operational changes on this flight and have some additional reliability improvements coming in the future. Once in space, Starship was able to deploy all 20 of the Starlink simulators, 2 modified Starlink satellites that got these brief shots of Starship in space, which was dope. We skipped the in-space burn due to engine issues, but then Starship got ready to re-enter the atmosphere. It was able to do a flap stressing test and did the maneuver to mimic the trajectory that future missions returning to Starbase are going to fly. Then it got to the pre-planned splashdown zone in the Indian Ocean, where we had drones.
All right, I gotta end the YouTube stream and then restart it with different info.